Hello and welcome to the study clips from the first 2 days of February. So I just took the video that you just saw was what my view was when I was working in the Chiwa Learning Commons in HKU. This time lapse was taken before my first lecture of the day. That day I had my Chinese lecture and that was at 9:30. I arrived at around 8:40 and did a little bit of studying before I headed to the lecture room. The Chinese lecture was a little bit boring, but overall it was not bad, and it was highly preferred over any of my dentistry lectures. And this clip was filmed after the Chinese lecture, and so after the Chinese lecture it was 11:30 and I did about half an hour's work before I went to have lunch, and I decided to sit next to the windows because there's great lighting. And the downside though is that the table was a little bit shaky for some reason, but it was actually not that bad. So overall it was quite pleasant. I got to sit on the sofa and no one else was sharing the sofa with me, so I could put my stuff wherever I wanted to put it. So that was really nice. Then I had lunch at a Japanese place, and then I came back and went to the main library, which is what you're seeing now. I actually used the tripod to help me film there. There were a lot of people in the main library in the afternoon, presumably because, in the mornings everyone hasn't woken up, so there's not much people at all at Chiwa. But I was actually too self-conscious about it, which is one good thing about filming in HKU because no one actually knows me there. So this was at the same place but from a different perspective. I wanted to, find a perspective to film myself studying where you could still see, some bits of the library environment, perhaps some people walking by, but I think no one really passed by at that time. Towards the end, I think some did, but it was only like a one-off incident because I was sitting very much at the corner of the third floor, the collaboration area, next to discussion rooms, so I could hear the occasional burst of laughter from the discussion room because the sound isolation wasn't actually that good. But it was actually quite fun as well because I like libraries which have some noise. Now we're going into February 2nd. So here is I studying at home. Look at the flowers, they're so pretty. These are the Chinese New Year flowers. So I was studying before I headed to the English lecture I had that day, which was in the afternoon. In fact, it is today. So 1:30 to 4:30. Then this clip was filmed after I got home, and I tried to do some studying, but I was really anxious about something that's about to happen tomorrow. So I was a bit stressed and wasn't really able to focus very well, but luckily I did manage to finish the I think, what is it called, olfactory taste and olfaction notes that I've been working on since yesterday, February 1st. But at least I finally got them done, which is something that I'm greatly relieved about. As I said, I got distracted a little bit too much here, but ultimately, life do be like that sometimes. And I feel like I've stress studied so much these few days that I'm almost glad that I can let myself relax a little bit. But of course I want to continue studying hard tomorrow because God knows I really, really need that. But I quite liked the shirt that I was wearing today. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.